Hello guys, welcome back. This is Modern Man MTG here today, and today we're going to be playing some Eldrazi and Taxes. Just your standard really 60 Eldrazi and Taxes list with a couple changes in the sideboard. If you guys want to hear about why I play some cards on the sideboard, go ahead and let me know down below. And let's go ahead and jump into a game here. So as a preface to most of my new videos, I like to point out that I'm in my college dorm room, and if you hear any sounds in the background, I really can't control those. And if my sound is a lot different than what you're used to, that's also why. I'm in my dorm room, and I try to keep it as quiet as possible, but sometimes I can't help it. And I'm going to be recording, pre-recording some videos. If I find a video or a topic to be time important, I'll make a video just for that. My days are pretty busy. My Tuesday and Thursdays, I go from 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. with school and work. Mondays and Fridays are really the only days I have the chance to record, sometimes Wednesdays and the weekends. So let's go ahead and start playing here, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this deck down below. And we have no lands in our hand. So this is probably a mulligan. We got 3 lands, a relic, a Thalia, and a Flicker Wisp. I'm not excited about this land, but I'll go ahead and keep it. Another Thalia. Yeah, I'll keep that on top because Flicker Wisp really doesn't do anything. Just going to play turn 1 relic and hope that our opponent's playing Dredge, even though it's not that good against Dredge. It's not bad against Dredge, don't get me wrong. It's not as good as like a Leyline or something like that. I guess I could have Relic there, but I don't think it matters against like an Evolving Wilds. So probably just going to cycle this whenever I get free mana. Seagate Wreckage, cast Thalia. Go ahead and pass the turn. Curious what my opponent's playing. They played an Evolving Wilds. You don't really see that card much in Modern. Opponent plays a Swamp. My opponent going to Lightning Bolt the Thalia. My opponent is going to Lightning Bolt the Thalia. Okay. Go ahead and Relic my opponent here before I forget about it again. Very curious to what the opponent's playing. I really don't see many red-black decks playing, or any decks really playing Evolving Wilds. So here we drew a Caves. With Coolio, so we probably play the Caves and then play Thalia. Save us 2 life by not having to use the Godless Shrine. And I know a lot of decks have favored cutting the Seagate Wreckage for playing another, the new Black-White Fastland from, whatever. I don't remember what side it is. The new set that's not Aether Revolt. I actually like Seagate Wreckage just because against like the slower matchups, or if I actually do get the grind against the opponent, the card just wins games. Paying 3 mana and tapping it, so 4 mana to draw a card at instant speed. It seems pretty good to me. The deck does mana flood a lot. That's also why I think this card's good in there. It's a good mana sink, really. I'm gonna play another mountain and cast Exquisite Firecraft. Okay. Still don't know what the opponent's playing here. So I think we'll play Godless Shrine tapped. Play our Flicker Wisp here because we don't mind emptying our hands because we have the Seagate Wreckage. And we'll flicker the Caves of Coolios so I can cycle the Relic. I don't know how good this deck is anymore now that they've banned Gitaxian Probe. But I don't, maybe you go back to like an older, like mono white version, a more aggressive build really. But I may be wrong. I might end up building the mono white version eventually. But right now I'm trying to build as many decks as possible so I can get you guys as many decks as possible, so you guys don't get bored of watching the same games over and over again, or the same decks over and over again, rather. Opponent plays a Dragon Skull Summit. Okay, my opponent might just play like a black-red burn budget list. Play Chandra Pyromaster, which is very good against the Flicker Wisp. Pretty much good against any card in my deck. It's fine. I've always liked this card. It's not bad. It's a 4-mana value Planeswalker. It's fine. Hit the Flicker Wisp. No, opponent's going to the end step, and I'll go ahead and cycle at their end step here, just to represent like a path or something. Now that I mentioned doing that, I'm not going to do it because that's generally how it works for me. I'll point out how to do something, and then just forget about doing it. Here we will lead with the Tide Hollow Scholar, Tide Hollow Scholar, Tide Hollow Scholar. It's one of my favorite cards ever. 2 mana, 2/2. Opponent gets I get exile a card from the opponent's hand. It's like an aggressive removal spell. Opponent's got Anger, Dark Dwellers, Kolagon, Combustible Gearhawk. So I'm playing like a black-green mid-range deck, I think. I'll take the Anger here. Pay 2 life. And cast the Wasteland Strangler. If I can learn how to tap my mana correctly. Go ahead and pass the turn. I could have put the Anger of the Gods into the graveyard. That just doesn't seem very good to me. Opponent did draw their 5th land, unfortunately for us. So they have the Kolagon, the Dark Dwellers, which doesn't do anything, and I think the Combustible Gearhawk costs 6. I may be wrong, but I think they all cost 6. Exile the top card for Chandra. Should have did that first, so they could play land. Plays their Dark Dwellers for the value. Draw an Aether Vial, so cast Aether Vial. Considering attacking here with both creatures to knock Chandra down, but it doesn't seem like a very good idea. So I'll just go ahead and pass turn here. My opponent deck seems pretty sweet, like a black-red mid-range deck. I never thought about playing a deck similar to that before. Probably the reason why is because if you add green, it's probably just infinitely better. You get Tarmogoyf, Abrupt Decay, Maelstrom Pulse, just efficient removal spells, so you don't have to play damage removal spells such as Exquisite Firecraft. My opponent might be playing on a budget. Jund's kind of expensive in real life and online. So I could see why you're not interested in playing a deck like Jund. So here we're hoping to draw a Path to Exile off Seagate Wreckage. Opponent drew another Anger of the Gods. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Seems pretty good for the opponent. See, the thing to remember about Eldrazi and Taxes is it's really good against like the unfair combo decks, like the Suicide Blue, Blue-Red Prowess decks like that. I guess we can see how much Gearhawk costs right now. Yeah, it costs 6. Take 4, fall to 14. But Eldrazi and Taxes really doesn't have game against mid-range decks. As you're seeing with the video, I mean, my opponent could be playing any kind of mid-range deck, and I just wouldn't have any game against it, to be honest with you. Doesn't matter if you're playing Jund, Abzan, anything like that, but it is good against the unfair aggro decks. So that's why it jumps up in popularity at some points, and other points it just falls off the map. So draw a card with Sea Great Wreckage. Unfortunately, it's a land. Choose to put a counter on Aether Vial. I think we're dead next turn if we don't draw a path, because he can just dash in that Kolagon. Yes, use Aether Vial's ability. That's a pretty okay draw. Not exciting. 1, 2, 3. Cost 4 to activate that. So we're just going to play our Thought Knot here. And take my opponent's Kolagon, I think. Other Combustible Gearhawk, that's also pretty good. I just don't think we can win this game. The Combustible Gearhawk's only good if they draw a land. The Kolagon beats me, even if they don't have a land, because they can just dash it and then dash it again. This is interesting. Probably take Kolagon. Anger of the Gods doesn't really do anything. Couldn't pass the turn. What my opponent can do is they can Chandra ping the Thought Knot and then play Anger. It's probably the best choice I have, I think. Or they have, I think. Just because their Anger's not really doing anything in their hand. But if they draw a land for the Combustible Gearhawk. Are they just playing mid-range Gearhawks? Is that a thing? This deck's sweet. Thunderbreak Regent. That's fine. Take 4 because it has Menace. Can't block it. Once again, guys, as always, I say in each one of my videos, post a link down below if you guys seen any interesting deck lists floating around. If you guys would like to see me play them. I think I have right now, I have 1, 2, 3 new decks I'm building. I'll have to put into rotation. If you guys are interested in also seeing me playing like leagues and stuff, go ahead and let me know. My thing is, it takes a long time to film a league. 5 rounds is a lot, especially if you're playing like an ad nauseum type list. So just let me know down below what you guys think. As always, I like hearing what you guys think about my videos. What is it doing? Why can I not? Oh, I have a card in my hand. That's why. Okay, so play the Shambling bit. Now we can activate its ability. The reason I'm doing it here, I might draw something that I couldn't play. As a sorcery, I don't think there's any sorceries in the deck. Also, let me know down below if you guys would rather see like mainstream streamlined decks, or you guys rather see the brews that I find floating around the internet. I apologize about it. I dropped my pen. My opponent wins game 1. As I said, we don't really have a game against mid-range decks. Unless we can just like quickly tear apart their hand. My opponent just had a lot of removal spells, and I didn't really have any hand disruption that game. So here, maybe Relic because they're playing Goblin Dark Dwellers, Blessed Alliance because they're playing a bunch of big creatures. Or Firewalker because I don't think they can kill it. Dismember. Anguished Unmaking. Maybe Thalia? Card that I'm not interested in, or like Leonin Arbiter. Yes, I can get the opponent with the Ghost Quarter thing, but it just doesn't seem that great. Wasteland Strangler, because it doesn't really... We're playing a lot of big creatures. It doesn't really do anything against them. I don't mind keeping Leonin Arbiters in, if possible. I think I like them better than this, than the Thalias. Maybe I like it better than Relic, just because I could steal a game with it. Yeah, we'll try Leonin Relic Orders over Relic of Progenitus, just because the off chance I can steal a game. But something to keep in mind is now I'm loaded at 2 with like for Firewalkers. Yeah, we'll try it like this. See how this goes for us. Like I said, I didn't really see much of my opponent's deck, just a bunch of like fat creatures and removal spells, really. Plus Chandra. I would like to play first. This hand seems very good. I have a turn 1 Relic, turn 2 Thalia, or turn 2 Scholar, maybe a turn 3 Thought-Knot. See, this is the kind of hand we're looking to beat a deck like that. So we're going to go Plains, Aether Vial. And maybe you should be something to think about is aggressively modeling against the mid-range decks. Opponent cracks Evolving Wilds. So something I'm going to point out, I'm playing a lot of like tierish lists. Like I wouldn't say top tier or tier 1. But I'm definitely playing like higher tier decks, and like Eldrazi and Taxes isn't a tier 1, but it's a tier list. And I'm losing the decks that are playing like Evolving Wilds, right? So I just want to point out that online you don't, or any modern, and really you really don't have to have every card. Like you can substitute. There's fine substitutes for it. So don't get down if you can't afford all the cards from your deck. Just something to keep in mind. I know I see a lot of people complaining about they're missing a lot of cards from Modern, so it's going to be too expensive. But my opponent here is playing like Evolving Wilds, right? So it doesn't really matter in my mind. And I haven't seen my opponent playing Blood Crypts or anything like that. So just keep that in mind when you're building decks. Is guess what I'm getting at. Bolts the Thalia again. That's fine. It means I can't bolt my Scholar. I gotta stop during their upkeep already, or I need to stop during their draw step as well, just in case I want to Aether Vial the Scholar in. During my opponent's turn and get the most value out of it I can. Yes, Shambling Vent. Fortunately, that doesn't do anything here. So I guess what I'm debating is, do I want to play Firewalker off Vial or a Scholar? I think I just want to play Scholar. The next turn I can play Thought-Knot and keep my Aether Vial at 2 and Vial in a Firewalker. Something similar to that seems correct to me. Something also to note about Scholar is sometimes you get your opponent with they don't understand how the trigger works, because it doesn't work like any of the new standard triggers do. So if my opponent were to bolt it here, he wouldn't get the card back from their hand. We have Terminate, Exquisite Firecraft, Dark Dwellers, Thunderbreak. Exquisite Firecraft and Terminate both kill most of my creatures. Firecraft is less mana efficient. It is a sorcery. I'll just take the Firecraft, because I wouldn't mind my opponent just terminating here, because they can't cast this other spell anyways. They are going to terminate. That's fine. If I draw like a Leonin Arbiter next turn, that'd be good for us too, and I can just attack their swamp. No, don't have Aether Vial. I drew an Eldrazi Temple, which is good for us. So we'll play Thought Knot. Keep up Shambling Vent. And then Vial in a Firewalker. Probably taking the Firecraft here. They have Firecraft, Thunderbreak. Oh, I guess it's over here. Terminate. No, they got. I took the Terminate. No, I took the Firecraft. 3 mountains. See, I'm probably 2 mountains now, rather. So I'm taking the Firecraft. Yeah, that seems right. My opponent can Dark Dwellers back to Terminate. It also seems alright. I don't know. This is a hard choice. Should I be taking the Dark Dwellers? That way my opponent can't play their Thunderbreak next turn. They draw a card. It's interesting. Yeah, I think so. I'd rather not have to deal with another large body, if able. Go ahead and Aether Vial the Firewalker in here. I could have probably done that during the upkeep. So what I could have done was I could have trigger on the stack, put in Core Firewalker. Didn't really think about it. So what are we looking to draw? I still would be okay with drawing a Relic Order. Leon, not real. Is it Leon? Leon and Arbiter. I've been saying Relic Order the entire time, haven't I? I apologize. So Leon and Arbiter. Opponent plays a Thunderbreak region. I gain a life from Core Firewalker. Yeah, I'll take the Aether Vial up here. Fortunately, I drew a land. Um, hmm. Go ahead and play the Caves. Attack with the Firewalker. See, once we get our Seagate Wreckage online, we're going to be in a very good spot. That's why I like playing this card. But unfortunately, I just keep drawing lands. Opponent's Exquisite Firecrafting, the Thought Knot, you're going to draw a card. See, the reason I think that's better is because the reason I didn't take the Exquisite Firecraft is because they play Dark Dwellers, they get a body out of it too. But they get the same end result, right? So they have their Terminate in the graveyard. They play their Dark Dwellers, and they terminate my Thought Knot. But they have an extra Dark Dwellers that they didn't need to have in play. Why I did it that. Opponent attacks with a Thunderbreak. It's fine. I don't really care. So something I just realized is I don't know how I've played this deck a lot, but it just doesn't come up very often. Is Seagate Wreckage and Shambling Vent are both mana sinks, but they both take the same amount of mana, right? So to activate both of them, I would need 3, 6, 8 mana. Which, if I'm getting to 8 mana, is already bad for me, anyways. Um, Hopefully, we draw some good cards here. Some good cards once again. Not really on an Arbiter anymore. Maybe like a Path. Um, Another Firewalker would be fine. Thought Not Seer would be fine. Uh, Tide Hollow Scholar would be fine. Thrall Trigger. Negatory. Drew another land. Oh, this isn't good for us. Okay, so I'm going to play the Shambling Vent tapped. We'll activate this Shambling Vent. Black, white, colorless. Sure. Go to combat. I have a feeling my opponent has a removal spell for Shambling Vent. An attack. There's no real reason not to fire it up there. We have plenty of mana. Opponent takes 4, falls to 14. Something I'm also interested in you guys is hearing from you guys. What books are you interested in reading, or what books you're reading currently? Oh, my opponent drew another Dark Dwellers. That's unfortunate. But back on the book topic, I like hearing what you guys are reading. I read a lot. Currently, I'm reading a book called, I don't know how to say it. It's Hegemony. It's Hegeomy, I think, or Survival. America's Path to World Domination or something like that. It's actually pretty interesting. It's a pretty hard read. And some technical jargon in there. Let me rephrase that. A lot of technical jargon in there. I find it very interesting, though. So I have Anguished Unmaking on the Goblin Dark Dwellers. And I can activate Seagate Wreckage. I just don't know when I'm supposed to be firing off the Anguished Unmaking. Should I be doing it now? Or should I wait till my opponent's turn, which I think is what I'm going to do? An attack for 2 with the Firewalker. Opponent falls to 12. Opponent plays another Evolving Wilds. Cracks their Evolving Wilds. Gets swamped. See, that's why I don't think Leona Arbiter is very good against my opponent. It's because they're playing a big mana deck, right? So they're just trying to get to the late game. They're only 2 colors, so I can't really be catch them being greedy. Black, white, colorless. I take 4, fall to 6. I might be dead here if the opponent has like double Lightning Bolt or something, or maybe it does Exquisite Firecraft target players. Yeah, it does. It does. My opponent ends their turn, so I'll go ahead and activate Seagate Wreckage. Draw a card since I have no cards in my hand. Draw a path. That's good for us. We're getting there. Thunderbreak Regent's actually pretty good against this deck because I can't really Eldrazi Displacer because I'll take 3 from that as well. Don't need Aether Vial's ability. So here I'm going to attack with Firewalker. Path is good here. I just feel like I'm dead to Lightning Bolt, though, unfortunately. Which I don't think I really have an option. So we're going to probably Path the Thunderbreak, play a Leonin Arbiter, and then have Seagate Wreckage up again. we're just not really seeing any good, like, spells against our opponent. Like, Thalia is not that great against my opponent. It's alright. They can just lightning bolt it as they did both games. Tight Holy Scholar's fine. Thought Knot's pretty good. Or Firewalker's decent. Attack with the Core Firewalker. Opponent falls to 10. Maybe I keep Ghost Quarter up to maybe catch them with it. Cast Leonin Arbiter. Maybe this baits like a bolt onto the Leonin Arbiter. Maybe. Hopefully. You just got to play to your outs, right? I advocate playing for your outs at all times. No matter if you think you're going to lose or not. You never know what's going to happen. So opponent casting another Dark Dwellers. Seems like a combustible Gear Hulk. Noxious Gear Hulk. That's pretty good. Yeah. It's alright, I guess. Sure. Probably blows up the Firewalker. I think that was my opponent's only way to kill the Firewalker, unfortunately for us. Now my opponent can't find a land off of Leonin Arbiter, I guess, is good for us. But I think we have to path the Thunderbreak here. Fall to 3. Opponent realizes they can't search with Leonin Arbiter in play. When it enters the battlefield, it's not even when you cast it. Oh. I guess cast would make it better that way if they counter it. I was thinking just in the case of, like if I draw like a Flicker Wisp or something. The reason I path the Thunderbreak instead of the Noxious Gear Hulk, because Thunderbreak puts me dead no matter what next turn, because if I path it, or I take the 4, and I save my path for it next turn, I just take 3 life and die. Can't block it anyways, so this game's looking pretty abysmal anyways. Would not like to use Aether Vial's ability, and Eldrazi Temple, cast the Aether Vial. I can double block it. I don't know what that really does, though. Oh, it kills it. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to animate a Shambling Vent and double block Leonin Arbiter in the Shambling Vent. I've got another Gear Hulk. Oh, they got an Exquisite Firecraft. Well, that does it, guys. As I said at the video, this deck has a pretty hard matchup against any really mid-range deck. So I don't know how good this deck's going to be since Gitaxian Probe got banned, as I mentioned earlier. But once again, guys, as always, remember to like the video. It keeps me going. I like to see that people are enjoying my videos. Comment down below any suggestions you have, any changes you guys would make to the deck. I'm always going to respond to comments. Subscribe to the channel, guys. As recording this video, we had 16 subscribers. The channel's growing and growing. Remember to stick with the channel. We're going to keep getting better and better. A video every day for you guys. If you guys have any requests, leave them down below. And I hope you guys have a good night. See you guys later. Goodbye.